Are you tired of painful wrists and forearms or injuring yourself when it comes to planche, handstand, or anything calisthenics related? Yeah! Well, get on the wrist prep. For only one view, you can get yourself Iron Wrists. These bad boys can withstand anything from a simple push-up to a wrist planche. But wait, there's more! If you watch today, leave a comment, subscribe and like, we'll throw it on an extra Iron Forearms. These bad boys are super useful alongside your iron wrists. They won't give you that sharp, painful ache you always get during planche work. Ever since I got on the wrist prep, my life changed. So get on the wrist prep by Dr. Yaad. Our wrists are created by medical scientists using patented DNA, RNA technology to turn amino acids with ribosomes into very complicated... So, what do you think? What the hell is this? This is terrible. Can you please make my life easier and just make a normal introduction?
I'm sorry. You're probably right.
Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Dr. Yaad. In this video, I'll teach you how to get iron wrists and forearms. We'll start off the video with a warm-up routine that I've been using for over a decade, followed by a strength exercise routine, then prevention, because prevention is the best treatment, followed by some secret techniques to both improve your planche, handstand, or any other support calisthenics exercise, but also to reduce the amount of tension on your wrists and forearms. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, part 1, the most important part, the warm-up routine that I've been using for over a decade. This routine I created out of a necessity. In the beginning of my training career, I injured myself many times and I didn't know how to prevent that from happening. So organically, by looking at stronger athletes, I managed to gather around a lot of information to create this ultimate routine. And ever since I got this routine, the amount of injuries around my wrists and forearms, almost zero. Even when I broke my wrist a few years ago, I managed to use this routine to completely recover and get back to planching. I created this routine before I started studying medicine. And as I started studying medicine, I noticed that a lot of the principles regarding prehab and rehab were actually organically used in this routine. And even now, as a medical doctor, looking at this routine with the current knowledge that I have, there's almost nothing that I would change. By just doing this warm-up before every workout, chances are high that most of you guys will have enough work to get iron wrists and forearms. So let's get started with the follow along part. If you just want to watch the rest of the video without doing the follow along, skip to this timestamp, but for the other ones, let's get started. Let's put our hands on the ground with our fingers facing forward, and then you want to put a slight pressure on there by leaning forward. Nothing too much, you just want to feel maybe a slight discomfort, but not real pain, just a stretch. You want to go back and forth about 5 times. Keep your arms locked. All right, and now we can go put our hands to the sides like this, and then go right and left repeatedly. Again, you want to feel a slight discomfort, nothing too much. We're going to do a lot more after this, but first we start off slowly. Now we want to supinate, meaning we point our fingers towards us. Again, keep the arms locked. And now you want to lean back a little bit. Just a few times, gently. Don't be crazy, just take your time with this. Alrighty. Now you want to put the back of your hand on the ground. Again, keep your arms locked. If that means you need to put your hands forward, then do that. And if it's easy, you want to lean over your hands a little bit. So I'll show you from the side. You want to hold that about 10 seconds like this. If it's very easy after a few months, you can even go into a push-up position and hold that. You can even do a push-up 1 or 2. All right, that's pretty good. Again, you need to do that after a few months, not now. Just take time. It could be very, very uncomfortable the first time. Shake your hands. And now you want to put your hands again on the floor with the fingers facing forward. And this time what we'll do, show you from the side, is we'll raise our palm about 10 times like that. Right, and if this is easy, just lean forward So you put more pressure on your hands. And after a few months, you can even do it in a push-up position. You want to do about 10 reps. Okay, in this routine, we also strengthen our fingers. So grab your 4 fingers, not including your thumb, put them on the ground, and then slightly lean forward. Again, keep your arms locked. If you have done this for a few months, you can even go into a push-up position. But again, don't rush this, take your time. I want to hold that about 10 seconds. Now with our thumbs only, so we've done our 4 fingers, now we're gonna do our thumbs. Again, just lean forward slightly. Hold that about 10 seconds. If you've been doing this for a few months, you could maybe even go into a push-up position. I've recorded this set a few times, so my thumbs are kind of sore. All right, so that was set 1. Usually between set 1 and 2, I do some warm-up for my upper body. I do some pull-ups maybe, some push-ups, some handstands, and then we start round 2, set 2. And we basically repeat everything again, but we exaggerate it a little bit more. So a little bit more intensity, a deeper lean, a deeper stretch. Well, you'll notice you can go further with less discomfort, which is kind of the point. Again, I really recommend in between set 1 and 2 to take some rest and do some other warm-up stuff, because your wrists need that a little bit of time. So I'm supinating again, going much deeper this time. We're going faster also. Putting the backs of our hands on the floor. For me, I'm going in a push-up position because I'm pretty warmed up. Just want to hold that about 10 seconds. Maybe do a push-up or 2. I'm going to choose for just a hold. Okay, excellent. Shake them a little bit. Then we'll do some palm raises. I'm going to do them like this because my palm muscles are really tired. I want to do about 10 of those. If you can do them in a push-up position, do them in a push-up position. But there's no way I can do that right now because my forearms are fried. 8, 9, 10. Excellent. Let the forearms rest a little bit. Shaky shake. Shake it off, shake it off. Okay. Put the 4 fingers down. Bam. And hold that for like 10 seconds. I probably can't hold it like that for 10 seconds, so I'm just gonna do knees because I am fried. Oh, man. All right, the last part, thumbies. Leave a thumbs up. And again, just hold that for about 10 seconds. Alrighty, and that's it. You've done your daily warm-up routine, and let's go to the next part of this video. Bye. So let's say you've been doing the warm-up routine for a week and 2 and you're noticing improvement, but your pain isn't completely gone. Maybe you're feeling that sharp pain in your forearms after you've done a planche hold on the P-bars, or maybe you're just feeling some discomfort around your wrists. Well, don't be worried. We can do a lot more than just a warm-up routine. One of the other things we can do is the strength routine. This strength routine will not only reduce the pain or completely eliminate it, but it will also make you stronger in any movement where you use support on your wrists. So for example, planche, you could actually become much stronger at planche, but also handstands, you will actually be better at hand balancing. But even if you're not doing calisthenics or gymnastics, you're just doing a sport where you do rely on your wrists, this can help a lot. I will talk a little bit more about how to get stronger at these movements in part 4 of this video, where we discuss the secret technique. But for now, let's listen to Dr. Yaad and learn a little bit more about the wrist joint. Dr. Yaad here. So the wrist joint is a very complex joint. There's a lot of movements we can do with our wrists, and that's because there's a lot of structures involved. Think of bones, tendons, muscles, ligaments, cartilage, and because there's so many structures involved, it's quite hard to diagnose where your particular pain is coming from. With that being said, this video is not a way to diagnose yourself. You will not find out where your particular pain is coming from, but you don't always need to know where your pain is coming from to treat it. If you're noticing by doing the things mentioned in this video, your wrist health is actually improving, then keep on going. But if things are getting worse, then go to a medical professional and get that sorted out. Please don't DM me with questions regarding your particular pain. I simply can't help you without physically being with you, without having imagery. There's just no way I can help you. Anyway, let me explain why doing a strength routine is a smart idea and why it will get you iron wrists and forearms. All joints in our bodies need to be stabilized. If we don't do so, they start making weird movements and we start hurting ourselves. Our body does this in two ways. There's passive stabilization and active stabilization. When talking about passive stabilization of a joint, the structures involved are generally connective tissue. So think of bones, ligaments, and cartilage, for example. The problem with connective tissue is that it takes a long time to recover, so it's quite easy to overdo it and get injured. When it comes to active stabilization, muscles are involved. And it's called active stabilization because you need to actively put your muscles to work to do certain actions that stabilize your joint. In order to be able to do so, muscles need to know what to do, so proper technique, which we will discuss in the fourth section of this video, and two, they need to be strong enough. This is where the strength routine comes in play. This routine focuses on making the muscles involved in stabilizing the wrist stronger, and therefore get you in a place where you can have better active stabilization. By having better active stabilization, you're able to take off some load from the passive stabilization. This in turn gives your connective tissue the room they need to recover, and there's also less room to get injured. With all that being said, enough talking. Let's do some strength work. In the description below, you will find a free PDF with the strength routine template. On here, you will see all the exercises with the corresponding amount of sets and rep range or seconds range. There are in total 4 exercises with 2 sets for each. You can choose to do this workout once or twice a week. Let's start off with the first exercise, wrist extensions. For this exercise, you want to grab a dumbbell and put your forearm on a soft surface like so. If you don't have a soft surface, you can also put your hand on your knee and do it like this. The exercise starts with a flexed wrist position, followed by a slow controlled wrist extension. You want to keep your thumb over the bar, not under the bar. The rep range is 20 to 30 reps. If it gets too easy, add more weight to make it more difficult. The next exercise is ulnar deviations, an essential part in planche training. Grab a dumbbell, barbell, or just a bar like a PVC pipe. Then start doing this movement. You want to do 20 to 30 reps for this exercise. To make it more difficult, grab the bar further away from its center or add weight to the opposite end. If you have a PVC pipe or stick, you can add weight at the opposite end of the pipe to make it more difficult. The third exercise is plate pinch. It's as simple as it sounds. Grab 2 plates and start pinching. You want to hold the plates for 10 to 30 seconds. If it gets too easy, just grab heavier plates. Last but not least, finger curls. Grab 2 dumbbells or just 1 barbell and start curling, except now with your fingers. Make sure to have full range of motion like I show here. You want to do about 20 to 30 reps. Again, just like mentioned many times before, if it gets too easy, add more weight. So we have a warm-up routine and a strength routine to get those iron wrists and forearms that I've mentioned so many times now. But even iron wrists and forearms can get injured if you're doing too much. This is where the best treatment comes in: prevention. Now, let's say you're recovering well from your planche and handstand in your upper body muscles, but your wrists don't seem to be able to keep up. They're forming a bottleneck. How can we keep training without making things worse? The answer is wrist supports.
Remember kids, safety first. Don't forget to wrap it.
What?
No, I mean, wrap your wrist.
An argument I hear people make against this is,
like, won't your wrists and forearms get super weak and lazy?
no, not true. We're doing all the work for our wrists and forearms with the warm-up routine and the strength routine. Overdoing training without any protection is what will actually get you weak. So don't listen to them.
Hey!
As for what type of wrist support you can use, I personally use two types. The gymnastics brace. This type of brace is great since it can last you for many years and is extremely comfortable and adjustable to the amount of support you require. My second type of wrist support are these high-end wrist wraps by Grenation. I use them when I need something lighter weight and faster to adjust than the gymnastic ones. I asked them for an affiliation link for this video since I knew I was going to recommend them. If I'm going to recommend something I personally use and be able to gain some support by it, why not? So if you want to support the channel, get them through the description below or use code YAAD10 at the checkout. Wearing a wrist wrap or a wrist brace is not something you want to do all the time. You only want to do it when you're noticing that your upper body can handle more work than your wrists and forearms. That's when you want to protect yourself, because again, the best treatment is prevention. There we go. What? You're still here? Well, I guess it's finally time to discuss probably the most interesting part of this video, technique. By using the proper technique, you'll not only be able to prevent your wrists and forearms from getting strained, but you'll actually be able to output more strength in exercises such as the planche and handstand. So yeah, let's get to it. Technique. This is something I found out many years ago when I was working out with the world champion, Yuri Vergelder. I asked him if we could do a planche together for a picture, and he agreed. So we hopped on a bar, and this is the picture that came out of that. When I went back home, all excited, and I looked at it, something about it shocked me. Why was my lean in the full planche so much bigger than his? I mean, my legs are thinner than his, so I should lean less. And our proportions weren't that much different that you could justify that amount of lean. No, it had to be something entirely different. For days, I kept on thinking, until I finally realized. It was the way he used his wrist and forearms. Yuri built up so much strength in his forearms that he was able to actually reduce the amount of lean. This gets his wrist in an angle that is less straining and makes the entire movement easier for his upper body. There's not much to this technique. All you basically need to do is ulnar deviation, but it requires an insane amount of strength and conditioning. This is where the warm-up routine will help. This is where the strength routine will help. This is where prevention will help. Everything we discussed in this video will not only help you with your pain, but it will actually make you stronger.
Hey, you want to know something cool? Now that you're stronger, handstands are easier because you have more strength to balance and counterbalance. In a future video, I'll go into more detail on why this is and how you'll be stronger in Maltese, planche, and many other exercises.
And that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video, for making it all the way till the end. It means a lot to me, honestly. If this video actually helped you reduce your pain or maybe even completely eliminate your pain and help you with planching and handstands, let me know. Like, I like reading those comments where I find out it helps, and maybe also share it with people so that more people can benefit from it. It would help out the channel a lot. I'm really working on making more videos so that I can just spread knowledge and help people. Anyway, I don't want to make this video much longer than it already is. So if you want to follow my personal athlete journey or my doctor journey,
Follow me on Instagram, Dr. Yaad, and subscribe for more stuff coming. And leave a comment if you like the video. And thumbs up. Okay, bye now.